Alright everyone, we have another Legacymedia stink piece about online influence and odiousness and stuff. I'm going to read a little bit of this verbatim. Pseudo-Scholars and the Rise of the Barbarian Right by Sohrab Ahmari. Odious views like the Nazi apologia aired by a guest on Tucker Carlson's broadcast this week threaten to make their way from fringe to mainstream. It's another hey soccer mom America look at me moment. We've seen this before. We've been fighting this battle now for the better part of a decade. The idea is that people like myself and some of you, online influencers, I hate using that fucking term, by the way, because it just sounds like grandiose and egotistical. I prefer to say content creator, because that's literally what I'm doing. I'm not attempting, well, I am attempting to influence people, but, levels of influence may vary. I think that tooting your own horn too often is not generally a good look. I do like to do it occasionally, like when I make a prediction really, really accurately and everyone's astonished or something like that. Okay, then I'm going to take a victory lap. Other than that, I'm just creating infotainment. It's fun. I was YouTubing before I was making money from it, for example. The Legacymedia, what they're afraid of is that they've lost their influence, generally speaking. Especially if you're talking about the missing link media. Not all companies. Some of them are doing better than others. Missing link media, by the way, again, is not a pejorative. I should probably explain this for anyone who's not already aware. Missing link media simply means a media firm which has been created more recently and mainly is online. So it's not like the New York Times. You know, they had a paper 200 years ago, and now they have an online footprint. It's basically all online, or generally speaking, it was given birth to during the .com period or the social media period. They have fared the worst of all because the old school Legacymedia has their ingrained audience and their centuries-old brand, and then modern content creators, they have a rich and dynamic and growing audience. So again, you'd think of people who mainly use YouTube, Rumble, people who use BitChute, etc., independent individuals. We've got less overhead. Like, I've got a home office. I'm capable of making a significant sum of money simply sitting in my office making videos and live streams. Streaming would be definitely part of that content creation. But the Legacymedia has been more pernicious because they're beginning to lose their grip. While missing link media like Vox and Salon and BuzzFeed, they're getting squished out on both sides, the Legacymedia is still bitter because they're not the ones that are absorbing that audience. They're not the ones that are growing. You look at the situation at CNN right now, for example. Holy goddamn shit. They rehired Brian Stelter. It's quite clear that they've got a little bit of a problem there. Even some of the better networks. You think, I'm comparing Fox to CNN, so clearly Fox would be better. They're having problems, and they don't like it. They don't like the fact that a person can put up a webcam or make a bunch of TikTok videos or something and have a 6-7 figure audience and go viral and things like that. Legacy networks just don't understand the modern tech dynamic. So they try to promote censorship. What they don't want is a situation in which I can say cunt on a video. A situation in which I can give opinions that are unorthodox that people might be attracted to. It's not about the influence. That's the stink piece. That's the excuse that's being used. It's under the guise of fighting extremism. Has nothing to do with that. Really what it's about is trying to get people banned or get people doxxed or get people algorithmically demoted because we are their competitors. That's what's happening to basically every major content creator right now. If you've got over 100,000 people following you on any platform, then you're probably a target. So imagine, for instance, my situation. I am, by and large, I'm not anywhere near the top of content creation when it comes to audience totals. I have 500,000 YouTube subscribers. I have over 100,000 people following me on Rumble and BitChute and Twitter. It's a fairly major footprint. I am capable of influencing people politically, socio-politically, and spiritually, and in any other fashion. They don't like that. Every time that a person is watching one of my videos or a Tim Pool video, or a Sargon video, or they're watching a Medicare live stream, or anything like that, they're not paying attention to the newspaper, they're not paying attention to CNN.com, they're not paying attention to Fox News Live updates. They're not paying attention to these things. A person has the same amount of time in a day as any other person. You have 24 hours in the day, give or take a few seconds, I guess. They have to adjust, you've got leap years and shit like that for a reason. A person has a certain amount of time that they're able, therefore, to dedicate to absorbing content. So think of the average person's day. They've got a 9-to-5 job. While they're on the job, well, they might be paying attention to what's on their phone or something like that at this point, and generally the boss will overlook it at this point too because it's become so ubiquitous. But they have to shit, they have to sleep, they have to eat, occasionally they do recreational things, although they tend to live stream them at this point. They only have, therefore, technically speaking, a few hours in the day to dedicate to absorbing information. So paying attention to news, something that preferably infotains them. So you're getting your info, but you're also getting a little bit of entertainment. What can a content creator do, like myself, on YouTube, Rumble, wherever it happens to be? But you can't do it on TV, and therefore, at least for the adult audience, of course, we would be more entertaining. We can say, fuck. I can make sexual comments during my live streams. I can be suggestive to people. I can dress like this as opposed to having to wear a monkey suit. That gives us an ingrained advantage, and they don't fucking like it. Because they're reliant on TV network advertisements and print, and in print you have obscenity laws and shit like that would apply, especially at the state municipal level. They are at a huge disadvantage. So if you can't beat them, then try to beat them. That's basically the goal that they have in mind. Censorship. Well, we must do more to combat misinformation. Okay, so in other words, information that you don't want the public to know or you disagree with. When we're talking about sociopolitics, we're talking about subjectivity 99% of the time anyway. The analysis that you have of some socio-political issue, let's say the war in Ukraine or in Gaza, the dynamic between ECOWAS and the newly formed Eastern Bloc Pact with several nations there, so geopolitics. If you're talking about taxes, if you're talking about inflation, if you're talking about pretty much anything, there are lies, damn lies, and statistics, and there's all sorts of opinion and analysis that's being given, some more accurate than others. They're hampered in their ability to compete, therefore, because they can't present it in an entertaining way. That's really, why do you think that Alex Jones has been so persecuted? He became the perfect infotainer, basically like Howard Stern on steroids. They tried to persecute him too. He managed to escape the worst of it because he decided to basically join a network that in which he was the big dog. Alex Jones was not so lucky. But it's infotainment. It's meant to be, you're supposed to be informed. This is what I want for all of you, for example. I want you to be informed when you watch my videos. I want to give you hard-hitting analysis, good statistical analysis. I want to make predictions, and I'm hoping that they pan out and stuff like that. But I have to present it in an entertaining format. So sometimes I'm going to say pussy. But I couldn't do that if I'm on CNN. It'd get bleeped out. You get in trouble for that. The Legacymedia, therefore, is simply trying to censor people, and the attack on extremism sort of thing, that angle is just a lie. It's just a facade, nothing more. That's about all. Peace out.